Ricard will start in there at the fullback spot on first down. Play action for Huntley as he lofts towards the sideline. It's caught by Andrews, just shy of that first down yardage. Somebody who likes to get the ball out quick. He's a very quick processor, and this guy is a quick runner. He's going to run hard today. Derrick Henry with his first carry to go for 12 yards. Zay Flowers in motion. Run, Henry, lane. Henry makes it third down and short.
And see, this is exactly what both offenses want to do, Tom.
Ali is in there on third down and 6. Huntley delivers, caught, and it's going to depend on where the ball was for Andrews. He stretched it out. Looks like it's right at that marker as Nixon banged him out of bounds. It's a give. It's Henry. It's a first down inside the 5. It's first and goal for the Ravens. Henry up the gut. Henry, second effort into the end zone. Touchdown. A brilliant start for Baltimore.
And then you just start feeding the ball to the big guy, Derrick Henry. And he churns it all the way down and gets Baltimore on the scoreboard first.
And after all, who has been dealing with his own injuries on the second half of the season, Willis will throw on first down and loft one towards the sideline. It is caught. Romeo Doubs got a step on Wiggins and brought it home.
Because they had an extra offensive lineman in on first down. Really a strong indication it was going to be a run play.
And now back-to-back penalties makes it first down and 20 from the 39. Willis, another dart, another catch. It's Watson for the touchdown. Willis, 2 strikes, and right back at you. Green Bay has life at home.
Oh, here he is right here. These safeties are going to split. That means the middle of the field is open, but watch Hamilton. He kind of slows down, and Willis throws it right past his ear.
Second down and 3. Flowers the motion man. Fake it to Henry. Quick throw. Another quick catch for Likely and a first down across the 40. Send him in motion on second down and 6. Green Bay brings 5. They get it to Flowers on the outside. Makes one miss. And then he turns on that turbo. Huntley escapes. Fakes towards the sideline and out of bounds. A first down. For 4th, just 2 away. The 10th play of this drive, it is Henry looking for that end zone for a second time tonight and sets up first and goal. Ricard is in. Henry has the football. Henry has the touchdown. His 14th touchdown of the season and his 32nd multi-touchdown game of his career.
Watch the guard pulling on the backside and the lead by Ricard.
Easy money for the Ravens offense. Back-to-back drives of 2 first downs, including a touchdown. And a 3rd throw for Willis. And a 3rd completion for Willis. Is going to go for 8 yards to Josh Wiley, making his return from a concussion. 4th and inches. They will go. It is Jacobs. He won't get it. The Baltimore defense is right there. Roquan Smith says no. Snoop is 7 for 7 for 51 yards. Instead, they're going to run it with Mitchell trying to bounce. Mitchell being chased. Mitchell evades for a first down carry right towards the red zone. It's a 15-yard pickup. It's Henry, and it's a first down, trucking a man at the end. First and goal, Baltimore. Evan Williams just got the full wrath of the king.
Leader in touchdown receptions for the Ravens, but he hasn't had one in 6 weeks.
Huntley looks, pumps, Huntley evades, lasers, incomplete, into traffic out of his rookie. And a 22-yard chip shot is true. Baltimore extends the lead, now make it 17-7. The Ravens in 2016 before having to retire for medical reasons, and has gotten more and more comfortable leading this unit as Willis delivers here. And if their defense can get them another stop. Oh, that is another bad snap. It's taken in by the Ravens. Baltimore's right there with Mike Green to jump on it.
Snap the football. Watch Malik. He's going to change the call. And Sean Ryan hit him right in the face with the football.
In the second half of the season, now can the Ravens offense pay it off? And it's Henry. He has been unstoppable to start this game. Spins across for 9 yards. Play clock under 5. Ali in motion. Huntley to throw. Looking to the end zone. It is incomplete. Hopkins wanted the flag. He was covered closely by Nixon. Has only missed the 3, all of them coming from 50 plus, and that will continue. 20-7. They said Fargo, it was rough. Day one, it was a realization of, oh, I'm in for some real impressive weather. Over the middle, it's Dobbs. Angling towards the outside. It's a first down. Alohi Gilman couldn't catch up to him in time, and Romeo Dobbs does the rest.
Now Malik Willis getting a little bit of rhythm here.
From the 33. Willis back to throw. Leaves it. It's Brooks blocking in front as he gets sandwiched and then sprung forward for the first down. Already 6 different receivers for Malik Willis, who's 8 for 8 for 133 yards and a touchdown. And he'll keep it here, running himself with space to move. Touchdown! Malik gets shifty, and the Packers are within a score.
Tight end number 81. Watch him get a nice block on the edge, and then the ball fake by Willis. Puts it in there, rides it, and at the last minute pulls it out. That fooled Marlon Humphrey, who gave up the leverage on the outside, but the block.
Right up the middle. Huntley showing his wheels across midfield and evades one final defender. He broke the tackle of McKinney for a major gain. Huntley looks, uncorks, it's caught. Isaiah Likely's got the first down.
And a flag late on the hit.
Huntley feels it, throws it, caught by Andrews inside the 10. Baltimore just trying to stay alive for playoff consideration. Pitch it, Henry. Henry's gonna get his 3rd. Touchdown Baltimore. It's a first half hat trick for the King.
This is Mark Andrews, the tight end. There's an extra offensive lineman here. This is Likely. So you got 3 offensive linemen to the right plus a tight end. Quick toss to Derrick Henry, and he walks into the end zone. They got the first down. They called timeout. They got the personnel on the field they wanted, and they totally fooled the Green Bay defense with their formation and with the quick toss to Derrick Henry.
Musgrave, the motion man, they've really missed Tucker Kraft since he went down and was put on season-ending IR earlier this season. And Willis will go down with a sack. Travis Jones, the first one there, as the Baltimore defense gave him nowhere to go with the football. Here comes the rush. Willis out of the pocket. Fires on the run. Open. Caught. Jaden Reed. The rookie Matthew Golden, the motion man. It's a play-action pass on first down. Willis stayed in there initially. Now he's going to look to escape. Delivers. Another open man. It's Watson in stride. Ravens bring 5. Willis steps up. Willis gets in front of the line of scrimmage. Stays on his feet.
Wow.
First and goal. Incredible effort from the quarterback, Malik Willis. Play clock down to 2. Willis to throw. Willis out of the pocket. Willis will go down. Trenton Simpson. He was late getting on the field and then trips up Willis for a 3rd down stop.
Well, that time they fooled Malik Willis.
Longest drive of the day by total plays. That was 10 plays. The 11th is a field goal from McManus from 24 yards out. Ravens 4 for 6 on 3rd down tonight. And a flag is down. Play, which was the 6th lowest in the NFL and the best for a Packer team since 2009. It has been not quite that tonight. That's going to help. Inagbari, major penetration. And Henry is stymied to start this second half. Loss of 5. Huntley on 3rd and 14. Ali well short. Packers defense comes up with a 3rd down stop. It's Nixon to make the play. Keeps this offense on the field. Fake it to Brooks. Willis back to the air. Lofts it. Sideline. Open. Caught. Watson out of bounds. Only 26 sacks coming into the game. They won't bring many here. Loft it. Open with a step. It's Melton. He vacuums it in for a big gain down the sideline. But he still has his wide receiver background and sets him up first down and 10 from the 11. Willis pulls. Willis runs. Willis scores. Touchdown Green Bay.
Formation. You've got a couple blockers out here for Green Bay, but watch the fake. Fake is going to hold the defense. Eyes are on the back. Eyes are in the backfield. And the speed of Willis, Van Noy goes with the fake, and he's just too quick getting to the edge. Nate Wiggins kind of got frozen out there. Watch number 2, Wiggins. He doesn't even get blocked, but his eyes are drifting inside, and he can't get back out to make a play.
So Willis does his job with his second rushing touchdown tonight. His first career multi-touchdown game and his fourth career.
Green Bay from substituting. That didn't mean they were going to go fast themselves.
Hand it. Henry finds the space for the first down. Derrick Henry with his first productive run of the second half picks up 9. From the 29, pitch it to him. Good block by Ricard. Henry gets to the outside. Here's the speed by Henry. Down the sideline, he's tripped up. Edgerrin Cooper got a shoelace.
Back in motion.
Looking his way. Huntley steps up. Huntley's got space, and he's got the first down. The poise of Snoop moves the chains. Trying to add to what is already a 3-point Raven lead. Henry to the outside. Henry, stiff arm. Get off me. Carrington Valentine. First down. Huntley looking towards the end zone. It's caught. Touchdown. Zay Flowers. Baltimore extends the lead in the 4th.
Free rusher. There's a free rusher coming from the right. He has to get rid of the ball right now. Zay Flowers extends the ball. At that point right there, it's a touchdown. Right, Terry?
Yes. Absolutely.
Baltimore not really worried about the run game other than the quarterback.
Brings some heat here. Willis feels it and delivers again. Romeo Dobbs out of bounds for a first down. That was his first carry. Goes for 6 yards. Second down and 4. Willis to the outside. Another completion going to Watson out of bounds.
The throw for the first down.
And now Willis is down. And remember, he had the shoulder injury last week. This was the last play of regulation that he got sacked. Came back in, delivered a strike in overtime to Jaden Reed, and he is holding that right shoulder after this throw.
Yeah, he didn't get hit. It's just the throw. Wow.
He has had a sensational game. Career high 288 passing yards to go with a touchdown. He's got 2 rushing touchdowns, 60 yards on the ground. Has filled in beautifully tonight for Jordan Love out with a concussion, and Clayton Tune would be the next man up, and looks like he is warming up on the side. Matt LaFleur's been thoroughly impressed with Tune, says he's been a huge asset in their quarterback room, an A+ human. Second down and 10 for Clayton Tune. They'll throw it, and it's through the hands and picked off with one hand available to him. Marlon Humphrey has the takeaway for the Ravens. For Marlon Humphrey, Clayton Tune's first pass attempt here with the Packers is a turnover. Ravens in business. Henry, wow. Unstoppable force all the way to midfield. Since the start of the season that he has been 100% healthy for this team. It's limited the way they feel they can call the game, and these are the types of things that Huntley can still do.
Yep.
As he kept the football the extra second, he's got the first down. It'll take us to the 2-minute warning, and they're starting to celebrate in Chicago. Derrick Henry with a hole. Derrick Henry, touchdown! His fourth of the night. King Henry rules all in Green Bay. Baltimore is still alive heading into the final week of the season.
Well, nice block by Devontae Walker, number 81. And, of course, Ricard leading the way. And
41-24, the final score. And they're celebrating in Chicago as the Bears are NFC North champions.